Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about Kega Fusion and settings for Kega Fusion. Most commonly issues I have with Fusion is that the video might not be in sync with sound and stuff like that. So for my settings for Windows 10 I use VSync. I don't use scan lines because I don't want the small stripes over the screens, and I use normal pictures, normal picture, so it looks normal, I guess. Fixed aspect is also used, and I also used filtered and use NTSC aspects. To be quite honest, I don't really know what all these settings do, but for me it works and gets the best settings for Windows 10, and it gets the smoothest type of output. You can also change window size in case you want the pre how things is going to look when you start the program. And you can also change full screen resolution, and that might help. Let's see, there was a man or woman in the comment section that said that Clayton Half-Life don't run in full screen. To be honest, I don't really know what your issue is, but if you check full screen resolution, make sure you have the proper resolution for your screen, or it might not be compatible with full screen resolution. So check that, see if things work, and check that you have the same settings as me to make sure that that works as well, so you know it's going to work. And just load a random ROM, press ESC, that's the quick key for full screen resolution. And right now I'm running at 50 frames a second because I am in the PAL region. If you get like a black screen or a white screen, maybe you have the wrong resolution or something, or you're still running the old version of Kega Fusion that you might use in Windows 8. If you use the old version from Windows 8 with the file fix that I showed you in an early video, then you will only get a black screen. So you need to like Jose Alvarez asked me, what do you mean by reinstall? By reinstalling, it means you delete the old version of Fusion, you download it, or if you already have it, unzip it and install it again, and you will have a clean install for 364. And then you open it as usual, set the settings, video settings. If you can set the sound settings as well. I use 44-100 Hertz and super high quality, and this will improve the sound. You can do things like filter and disable sound if you want to do that as well. There's also like perfect sync if you want to show FPS. If you having issues with the frame rate, you think the frame rate is not perfect, or it's a buggy, you can Just click Options, Show FPS. And now I remove the FPS, but it should be down here. If we press ESC again, press Show frames per second, you will see frames per second in the left corner. If you're using Sega CD, you can have the LEDs. So if we boot Sega CD, we will have the LEDs down here. And I don't remember what the actual LEDs does, because I don't have my Sega CD. But I think it's green is for ready, that is in the Sega CD is in use, and the red is I think it is access or something. So we take see if we have a Sega CD game. Currently I don't have any Sega CD games, so I cannot show you. But if we do a quick Google search, we might find out what the LEDs are. Sega CD. We have a picture of Sega CD. Show picture. Yes, it's ready and access. And access is what the current status of the CD drive is. But if you want me to show a guide how to use Sega CD, I can make another video. So we take back to the Genesis side, and you can use this is where you set your Sega CD BIOS in order for it to work. There are some BIOS for the 32X as well, so you need that in order for play the 32X ROMs. So if your Sega CD and 32X doesn't work, it's because you're missing the BIOS, or you haven't set the direction for the BIOS. The Sega Genesis, Game Gear and Master System will work just with the ROMs themselves, but the CD and 32X won't. If you want to set up your controllers, you can use keyboard or mouse, or if you have like a USB to Genesis controller, you can use your original controller, 3-button or 6-button or whatever. And that's pretty much it. There's not many things you can do in Kega Fusion as far as settings goes. You can play around with the settings, see what works, but be careful. So take a screen picture or something so you know what your original settings was, in case there is something, if something goes wrong. And a worst case scenario, if you really mess it up, you can just remove Fusion and install it again and start all over. But let's see. So I didn't forget anyone that had a question. I think I covered most of the people. So if you have any questions, just please put them in the comments and I will help you as far as I can. And if you want to see another guide or tutorial of another emulator, I can make it happen. But for the most part, if you have a NES or SNES, like SNES 9X or SNES 9X or the FSEUX for the NES, they pretty much work in both Windows 8 and 10. Most common problem for emulators on PC is getting the video and audio to sync. But Thank you for watching, and I hope you find this useful. Have a nice day.